So it's been a while since I did a video like this, where a lot of people just don't know how to actually read upon some things that they claim a person is, because you got individuals who are on YouTube, who are on Twitch, on Twitter, at CNN, but they claim that the Orange Man he's exactly like the funny mustache guy in Germany, right? Where people are saying like, yes, Trump is in fact a fascist because he does things that I don't like or the Democrat Party wouldn't do, right? So a lot of people are calling Trump a fascist because they don't like the guy. Here's the thing. If you are to call somebody something, you should at least know the definition of the word that you're using, right? Because a lot of people have said Trump is a fascist, Trump's a Nazi, Trump is this, and that for many years, right? But the thing about it is this: when you actually ask some of these people what fascism is or what Nazism actually is, they cannot give you like the actual definition, right? They can't give you the definition. Like right here, like this guy that I was talking to right here. Apparently, deportation and Trump claiming that he'll terminate the Constitution is fascism, when that's not actually what deportation is not fascism, okay? Because if that's the case, then Barack Obama is a fascist, Joe Biden is a fascist, Kamala Harris is a fascist if they are using deportation as a means for an example, right? But a lot of people who use the term, they don't actually know what it means. Like right here, I'm literally in the doctrine of fascism right now, right? Because I read this book a couple of times, but this time I had to highlight them because what a lot of people don't know is that fascism is literally the merge between corporate and state. Nothing outside the state, everything within the state, where all acts of individual rights and property rights will be completely abolished. Because when it pertains to fascism, they are doing things for the collective, not for the individualist. Fascism is not a individualist movement. It's more of a corporate philosophy or a corporate religion, as some people want to say. It's the acts of the state, not private businesses, mainly the state. But some people believe that there was some kind of private ownership in the fascist society, which is definitely not true, right? Because fascism is in fact a next level of socialism and Marxism for some people that want to actually go further. And you guys don't believe me, I actually dare some people that are left wing or are socialists to actually read the doctrine of fascism and actually say what they are, how they are expressing themselves as, well, socialism. Well, we agree with socialism, but we believe that it can go to another level, right? This is exactly what's in the doctrine of fascism. The doctrine of fascism literally promotes or it endorses socialism. But apparently some individuals want to put socialism and fascism on the other side, when fascism is literally the next level for socialism. You don't believe me? Actually read the doctrine of fascism, because I read it like twice. I even highlighted a couple things here for what we can actually get into, right? Because once again, people are using fascism in the wrong way, because once again, when the guy said deportation is fascism, guys, it's just a joke. Okay, but the main issue that I have with people when they want to say Orange Man is fascist, or he's just like the funny mustache guy, or for what Kamala's team said that Trump said, even though they have no evidence that he actually said this, that Trump wants that he wants some generals just like Adolf Hitler. Again, two people from the Associated Press. I'm not taking anything the Associated Press takes seriously, because those people are freaking hacks and they're idiots, okay? So, people want to say the right wing, the Republicans are fascists Orange Man is a fascist, even though Joe Biden literally did some fascist things like merging the states and the corporations together. That is a literal fascistic policy. So I'm gonna read a couple of things right here that I highlighted for some people. So here's what it says right here. Anti-individualistic. The fascist conception of life stresses the importance of the state and accepts the individual only insofar as his interests coincide with those of the state, which stands for the conscience and the universal will of man as a historical entity. It is opposed to classical liberalism, which arose as a reaction to absolutism and exhausted its historical function when the state became the expression of the conscience and the will of the people. Liberalism denied the state in the name of the individual. Fascism reasserts the rights of the state as expressing the real essence of the individual. And if liberty is to the attribute of living man and not of abstract dummies invented by individualistic liberalism, then fascism stands for liberty. And for the only liberty worth having, the liberty of the state and of the individual within the state. The fascist conception of the state is all-embracing outside of if no human or spiritual values can exist, much less have value. Thus saying, some individuals on the left want to say that fascism is this individualist movement. No, it is a collectivist movement, just like communism and just like socialism. But people want to put fascism right there next to capitalism, even though capitalism is literally and classical liberalism, right? Those are in fact individualist movements. But you have some people bringing up some bad examples about corporations paying off the state. Even though, here's the question: why is the state up for sale anyway? Because a lot of people believe from the left that they are paying these big businesses to increase prices so they can gain more money from the consumers, even though it would literally hurt them just as much. But let me keep on going. Thus understood, fascism is totalitarian. That's my bad. And the fascist state, any synthesis and a unit inclusive of all values, interprets, develops, and potentiates the whole life of a people. No individuals or groups, political parties, cultural associations, economic unions, social classes outside to state. So, guys, and here's another example. Here's another point from the Doctrine of Fascism right here. Fascism is likewise opposed to trade unionism as a class weapon, but when brought within the orbit of the state, fascism recognizes the real needs which gave rise to socialism and trade unionism, giving them due weight in the guild or cooperative system in which divergent interests are coordinated and harmonized in the unity of the state. Which, guys, hilarious enough, a lot of these people have no idea what they're talking about. They probably saw some freaking definition from the Young Turks or Hassan Nabi or Vosh, right? Like, fascism is not a individualist movement, and it's not deportation either. Cause get rid of the Constitution, which I'm pretty sure Trump is not going to do. I don't even think he actually said that. But guys, they're flat out lying to you. Some people also try to say like fascism is on the opposite side of socialism, right? But that's could be far from the truth, because fascism is literally the next step of socialism, whether it be state socialism or Marxian socialism, right? Here's another key point right here. The key point of the keystone of the fascist doctrine is its conception of the state, of its essence, its functions, and its aims. For fascism, the state is absolute, individuals and groups relative. Individuals and groups are admissible insofar as they come within the state. Instead of directing the game and gilding the material and moral progress of the community, the liberal state restricts its activities to recording results. The fascist state is wide awake and has a will of its own. For its reason, it can be described as ethical. So once again, guys, if liberalism spells individualism, fascism spells government. Fascism desires the state to be strong and organic, based on broad foundations of popular support. The fascist state lays claim to rule into the economic field no less than in others. It makes its actions felt throughout the length and breadth of the country by means of its corporative, social, and educational institutions, and all the political, economic, and spiritual forces of the nation, organized in their respective associations, circulate within the state. Which, guys, basically says anything that these individuals want to do, they had to get past us. They had to go past us first. There's no source of individualism. There's no source of a freaking deportation either. But I'm also going to end this off with 7. With the doctrine of fascism. 7, the individual and liberty. We were the first to state, in the face of demo-liberal individualism, that the individual exists only insofar as he is within the state and subjected to the requirements of the state, and that as civilization assumes aspects which grow more and more complicated, individual freedom becomes more and more restricted. So, guys, I'm not making this up out of the blue, right? This is from the doctrine of fascism itself, which was written by Benito Mussolini and Giovanni Gentile. So, guys, when some people try to, when you try to talk to some individuals online, say like they know what this means, or they know what socialism means, even though there's like 3 or 4 different, it's like three different definitions of socialism. Or some people want to say, oh, I got my own definition of socialism, or hey, can you give me your definition of socialism? Like, no, I'm not giving my definition of socialism or fascism. I'm giving the definition of socialism and fascism. A lot of people look towards Karl Marx as the pioneer of socialism, even though there was a bunch of socialists back then that didn't agree with him, saying like there does need to be individual freedom. And Karl Marx is like, no, we don't need to have individual freedom. Everything should be in force of the state, right? Like the guys like the Ferdinand Lassalle's. But you have some individuals that don't actually know about certain things. They look towards Karl Marx because that's exactly what their professor maybe at the college goes to, because they like Karl Marx, and they heard that Karl Marx was the pioneer of socialism. Even though, or they say fascism is this capitalist ideology where they want to control the masses or they want to control the planet. Even though if you actually look at the doctrine of fascism, which I got right here in front of my face, the fascists Giovanni Gentile and Benito Mussolini literally said the rights of the individual is pretty much obsolete. It cannot be outside the state. We give you the freedom that we choose to give you. There's no acts of individualism in this book unless the state allows you to have it, which doesn't mean that doesn't make it true freedom. Capitalism actually gives you true freedom. But once again, a lot of people want to take this whole point of fascism and not actually use it right. They don't move towards Benito Mussolini and Giovanni Gentile like the godfathers of fascism, right? They have so much to say about fascism, but then they don't actually give like an actual legit definition of it. Fascism also contributes like the merger between the state and private businesses and completely eliminates private ownership, right? That's literally what it does. It merges the corporations with the state. Private businesses, they merge with it. They tell people what to develop in their business, and it takes away any acts of individualist freedom. But apparently, some people don't know this. Some people don't know this. I mean, but that's all I got for this one right here, man. Because people keep on using the definition of keep on using fascism wrong. Like when they say, "Oh, more people should have the rights to own a gun," and apparently that's fascist. I don't know. Some people just make up some BS terms, right? But yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Liberalism denied the state in the name of the individual. Fascism was. Oh yeah, I already read that. My bad. But that's all I got for right here, man. If you guys like the video, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, hit the notification bell. I will see you on the next one. Peace.